Are you worried about charging less? Are you worried about charging too much? I'm gonna give you a spreadsheet that I use to pricing videos. Let me show you. If you follow this simple formula, you will have a better idea on how much do you charge. A client answers he's interested in your video editing services, and he or she asks you, how much do you charge? How do you answer that question? Are you worried about charging less? Are you worried about charging too much? Well, after 12 years of editing, I'll show you what I do. But keep in mind, there is not one answer that fits every case, because video editing is very complex, and you may be doing a video that is very simple or one that is extremely complex, but I'm going to try to nail it down to a simple formula that you can use to figure out how much to charge. The first thing that we need to think about is flat fee versus hourly rate. I once heard an editor say this to me, and it was actually very smart. Hourly rates or salaries, you basically make less money for being faster. What does this mean? If you have a $25 hourly rate and you get a YouTube video or any kind of video and it takes you 4 hours to complete, you're making $100. As time goes by, you familiarize yourself, you get a template and you finish it now in 2 hours, you cut yourself $50 because you get paid hourly. If there's no more work, you lost money. And when you're doing freelance, it's usually per gig base. So you will be losing money every time that you're going faster. On the contrary, flat fee, you get a raise for being faster. And that's what you want, because you don't want to ask the client to give you a raise, which means raise the price of your services. What you want to do is make more money for the same service that you're already offering. The same thing applies for salaries when it comes to the hourly rate. If you have a flat salary, you're gonna be pushed to work faster, get more videos done, and you're never gonna get a raise. That's why some companies use bonuses and stuff like that. But as a freelancer, you wanna get a flat fee that you can eventually increase your profit from. And for YouTube, it's a little complicated because each video is different depending on the niche. But I'll give you an example of an industry that at one point was pretty standard, the wedding industry. At one point, I remember certain wedding videos will be a flat fee of $700 for editing. Now, these videos were complex. There was a lot of B-roll. Sometimes it was multiple days, so there was a lot of footage. I remember working 8 hours a day, and it would take me around 3 days to complete one of these videos. Of course, it was very difficult to predict since each video was different, but after editing tens of them, you can kind of average that it will take you around 3 days to complete. 3 days, which is 3 8-hour days, equals 24 hours of work. If you divide that by the total price of the video, that adds $29 an hour. So you're getting paid $29 an hour. If you're happy with that hourly rate and you will be willing to take a job for that price, then the $700 flat fee is not bad. And the most important thing as a video editor is that when you secure this kind of job, now you can figure out ways to simplify the editing process, which is something I talk about a lot in this channel. But let me show you an example how you can give yourself a raise. The flat fee per video is $700. Now takes you 16 hours to complete, which is 2 days. And this is true. I figured out a system that was way more organized, and it allowed me to complete this video sometimes in 16 hours, which is 2 full days of work. At that point, the hourly rate was $43.5. That's not a bad hourly rate for me at the time. That means we got a raise of $14.75 just for cutting those hours. So see, I just gave myself a raise without having to ask for it. With the hourly rate, I would be making less money. So I wouldn't even worry about improving my technique. It's counterproductive because you want to be the fastest editor so you can make more and more money. The fastest editor is going to make the most money. But how do people go to that $700 flat fee? And what happened when you're working for YouTubers and it's not a set price per video? Well, there's a couple things that you can do. First, you can do something that we were not able to do in the past, which is doing research. Nowadays, you got sites like YouTube Jobs where you can actually look for video editing jobs for YouTube specifically. And you can find people like this. You'll be editing 1 to 2 times a week, and you'll be paid per video, which is a flat fee. And if you go look at the examples,
a lot of Roblox games will try to sell admin commands. It's almost always a...
You see that they use a very popular YouTuber as an example. I'm not familiar with this style of editing, but it seems like a gaming type of editing. It's a 8-minute video, and I'm sure they will give you more information if we ask, like, for example, how long is the rap footage. Now, as you can see here, they're paying around $90 to $125. If you go to another YouTuber, you see that they're paying from 100 to 500 per project. And it seems to be like a story kind of video. 18 minutes. Okay, so you can kind of get an idea of the pricing. If each YouTube video was $1,000 per video, you will be seeing a lot of thousand to this. But we're seeing here everywhere from 100 to 500. So you can research in this site to get an idea, not even to find a client, but to get an idea of how much to charge. But don't take it too serious because there's always gonna be somebody lowballing. What you really need to know is more information once you find the client, and I'll show you how that looks like. Once the client is interested, you need to ask him a couple questions. One of them is the raw footage length, and this is what I do. You don't have to do this, but this is a formula that I have done and it works. So I ask, what is the raw footage length, right? Music. Do they want music throughout the video? Do they want music on some sections? Do they want no music? Even though this doesn't sound like a big deal, a video without music is a lot easier to edit than a video with music throughout each section because searching for music can be time consuming. Graphics. This has to be the most difficult of all, especially for some kind of videos like a gaming channel. If they want a lot of graphics and CGI throughout the video, this may be very time consuming. If you have experience with this, you have to kind of have an idea how long it will take you to complete this kind of work. I personally try to avoid this type of content, and if I come across it, I make sure to price it right because I know this is going to be very time consuming. Sound effects. It's important to mention this because it's different than music. You may find an opportunity to add a sound effect and it's definitely going to take some of your time. Captions. Even though in 2025 video editing software got better and there's a lot of services that help you with captions, they're usually not 100% accurate. So unless you found a real solution that can help you do this quickly, I will be very careful about this one. Even though you can use AI to automatize the captions, you may be able to get to a point where you start to notice mistakes. So you may have to watch the whole video throughout just to make sure the captions are okay. Final video length. What do I mean by final video length? Sometimes YouTubers want to keep a specific length because they want to add a certain amount of ads in the video. Some YouTubers prefer to keep a 20-minute video. But this is very important information because if you're given an 40 minutes of raw footage video and they want a 5-minute video, even though that sounds great because the final product is only 5 minutes, it may take you actually longer to fit all the information in there. And if you miss something, you may have to do a bunch of reviews to make sure that's there. So you kind of want to have something in the middle. Even though a shorter video could be helpful with things like graphics, don't base the price on the final length of the video. This is something a lot of clients think, that the price should be based on the final length. It does not have to be based on the final length, but it's important to know it. Now, we have all this information, but we don't have any values. I'm going to give you a spreadsheet that I use when it comes to pricing videos, and it works for certain kind of videos. So let me show you. Okay, raw footage times 3. What does this mean? I would say for a simple blog, a sit-down video, or a video that is not super crazy when it comes to storyline, you can do the raw footage length times 3. What does this mean? If the raw footage length is 30 minutes, it will probably take you around 1 hour and a half to go through all the footage and do like a simple basic cut. It all depends on your speed. For me, times 3 seems to work most of the time. Of course, it really depends on your speed when it comes to editing, so you may have to adjust this number, but I know that times 3 should be an average. Music, times 2 the final length of the video, not the raw footage. So let's say your client says that he wants the final video to be 20 minutes long. It will probably take you around 40 minutes to watch the clip, find the song, and place it. You probably already watched the clip once, so you have an idea, but you will have to watch it again. So in my experience, I would say times 2 the final length of the footage. Graphics. This one, it's a question mark. It really depends on your skill when it comes to doing graphics and what the client is asking. You may already have presets, it may not be that hard, but in my personal opinion, this one, it's really high. And I'm not gonna add it for this example because this one you're gonna have to figure out on your own. So let's leave it empty for this. Sound effects. One time going through, in my opinion, maybe even when you're doing the music, you will be able to find a moment to add the sound effects. Captions, like I said before, it really depends on the system that you're using. And in my personal experience, I haven't found a system that is accurate and simple and doesn't require to go over the whole video again. So if you did, this could be either ×1 or 0. But for me personally, it's usually ×2 because I have to go through the video and review all the way through. And this will be ×2 the final video. Final video length, you gotta ask the client. This is an information that you gotta get from the client. So after we add this up, let's put some values and see what this comes out. Let's say the client tells you, my raw footage is 30 minutes. That will mean that you have to add 1.5 hours, which is 1 hour and a half. Music, you're gonna have to ask what final length he would like to have the video. And let's say he says 20 minutes. That means that you will have to multiply 20 minutes times 2, which equals 40 minutes. Now, if the client doesn't know how long they want the video to be, you can also kind of like conclude that it's gonna be somewhere in between half or 70% of the length of the raw footage. Graphics, like I said, we're gonna leave that one empty. Sound effects, I will say 1 time through, which equals 20 minutes, since he wants the final to be 20 minutes long. Captions, 2 times, which equals 40 minutes. For some people, this may not be much, but for me personally, like I said, I haven't found a good software to do this. And like I said, final video length is 20 minutes. And finally, this should give us an average price. Again, you have to have some knowledge of how long it takes you to do certain things, but this can give you an idea on price. So we have to add up all the hours, and that will give us a total of 3 hours and 10 minutes. Now you want to round up to the highest number because most likely it will take you longer than what you said. So we round up to 4 hours. This is the part where you have to figure out what hourly rate you will be happy with. And this will also give you an idea of what hourly rate makes sense. Because for example, if we say that your hourly rate is $50 an hour and it takes you 4 hours to complete this video, that's $200 for a YouTube video. If you're happy with this, that's not a bad price. And as you saw on YouTube Jobs, prices range from 100 up to 500 depending on the difficulty of the video. Of course, for this example, we didn't use graphics. That's something you have to keep in mind. But as you can see, if you follow this simple formula, you will have a better idea on how much to charge per video. Now, like I said, there's not like a one formula fits all, but you can have a better idea when you understand how long things take to complete. And you can start keeping track of that moving forward. Not only to know how much to charge your clients, but also to know how much more money you will make if you increase your speed. I will be making a video showing some techniques that I learned through the years for fast editing, since I had to increase my speed many times throughout the years. As you saw in this video, increasing your speed editing can really help you increase your profits without having to charge more to any clients. If you have any questions or if you really want to know the price of your video and you already have the information and you want to ask me directly, feel free to join my school account. You can show me, I can help you find the best price to charge your clients and the best questions you can ask to have a better idea of how much it will take you to complete. I would love to help each of you on your editing journey. Feel free to sign up in my school account. I will be happy to help you. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. I hope that answers the question on how much to charge per video in 2025. As years go by, things may change. Things may be faster to do, so we will have to adapt this formula, and I will be happy to make another video about it. But in the meantime, leave a comment. Let me know what other video would you like to watch, and feel free to subscribe. See you in the next one.